Welcome to today's video. We're going to dive right into a topic that you've probably faced at some point in your life. That gut-wrenching feeling when you realize that someone close to you doesn't really care. Or worse, that you're just a tool for them to achieve their goals. Yes, it's a frustrating experience. You've invested so much time, love, and energy into a relationship, and then one day, it's all gone. But that doesn't mean there aren't ways to protect yourself. That's why you're here, to learn how to recognize the signs that someone is just using you and doesn't care. This isn't a harsh lesson, but an opportunity to open your eyes and see things more clearly. Today we're going to explore 7 clear signs that someone is just using you. Don't worry, I won't keep you dwelling on the negatives for too long. The goal of this video is to help you become stronger, wiser, and most importantly, to know how to deal with a peaceful heart. Now, join me on this journey, finding clarity and balance. I challenge you to watch until the end because we will not only identify the problem, but also find a way to overcome it together. Ready? Buckle up because we will not be afraid to face the truth. And this truth will help you live a better life, be stronger, and be less vulnerable to predators. If you resonate with what we are about to talk about, leave a comment. Let me know you watched until the end. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next lessons on life from Stoicism, the philosophy that helps you become steadfast in the storm. Now, let's explore the first sign that someone is just using you and doesn't care about you, which is broken promises. Think about it. How many times have you heard, "I'll do it for you. I'll be back by the end of the week," or "I promise to help you"? And then they disappear without a trace. And the promise is gone like the wind. You stand there, staring into space, wondering, why did I trust them in the first place? This is not an uncommon story. Most of us have experienced someone breaking a promise. And the truth is, it hurts. It's like a thorn in the heart, making you wait, hope, and then fall into the pit of disappointment. But hey, stop for a moment. Are we letting other people's actions completely control our emotions? There is an important lesson in Stoic philosophy that Marcus Aurelius and other teachers always remind us of. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can always control your own response. And this helps us see broken promises in a different light. Now imagine you are walking through the ancient streets of Rome. Air is cool, the stone walls are old, and you are faced with the same situation. A trusted friend has promised to pay back a debt on the specified date. But when that date comes, no one shows up. You have 2 choices. You can either wallow in anger, or the other way around. You choose to keep a calm mind, reminding yourself that you have no control over them. Stoicism gives us the power to distinguish between what we can change and what we must accept. And the truth is, someone breaking a promise to you is beyond your control. Think about it. Instead of letting their actions drag you down, you chose to stand up and not let their empty promises affect you. Now think back to the last time someone broke a promise to you. How did you react? Were you upset for the rest of the day? Or did you step back, take a deep breath, and realize that keeping your inner peace was more important? That's the important lesson from the Stoics. The absence of a promise kept cannot harm you unless you allow it to. So the next time someone breaks a promise to you, what will you do? Will you let it seep into your life, destroying your peace? Or will you, like the Stoics, find strength in what you can control, your own thoughts, feelings, and actions? Broken promises are just passing ghosts on the stage of life. And you are the bright light, the master of the stage within you, not letting those passing ghosts overwhelm you. This, you have complete control over. Finally, remember one thing. It is not always the responsibility of others to keep their promises to you. They are human too, with their own decisions and mistakes. But the most important thing is that you do not let that damage your self-worth. Second, a sign of not caring about your needs or feelings. Imagine you are in an ancient village full of the sounds of life, cobbled streets, and the air filled with the breath of history. There, a young man has devoted himself to helping a close friend, not afraid of hardships, not afraid of sacrifices. But in return, his friend never paid attention to feelings, did not know the silent sacrifices, took everything for granted. This abandoned friend gradually sank into a feeling of helplessness, as if lost in the endless sea of life. You see, that story does not belong to a past world, but in fact, we are also living through similar things in our daily lives. Have you ever felt abandoned? Have you ever felt that others take your efforts and dedication for granted, without caring about your feelings? If the answer is yes, then welcome to the experience called life. But it's not all doom and gloom, and that's where Stoicism comes in as a trusted companion, helping you maintain your values and protect your self-esteem. Like a steady flame in a storm, your inner peace is unaffected by strong winds. Stoicism will teach you that you can control your emotions, regardless of what those around you do. What they do, how they ignore you, does not define you. Everything they do is just an expression of themselves, not a measure of you. And when you realize this, a new strength will rise from within, a true freedom no longer tied to the attention or recognition of others. Now, think of a situation where you might face that again. Someone will continue to ignore your feelings and needs, as if you don't exist in their world. But now, with a mind equipped with Stoic wisdom, you will no longer let such behavior hurt you. Instead of feeling offended or resentful, you will find an incredible peace in remembering that they have no control over how you react. You can choose to maintain your dignity and move on without being shaken by such slights. Wear a suit of Stoic armor to protect your peace and self-respect from the unpredictability of life. Imagine that no matter how the world shakes, you stand firm, unshaken. Only when you allow it can the indifference of others penetrate your inner fortress. Stoicism helps you realize that inner peace is not a luxury, but a right that each of us must know how to protect ourselves. This is not just a philosophical lesson, but a practical way to live in human relationships. You will always encounter people who belittle you, belittle your efforts, or simply do not care about your feelings. But the question here is not, why do they do this? But how do I respond? The fire inside you, your self-esteem and self-respect, is not something that others can easily extinguish. You have the power to protect that fire, and more importantly, you have the power to decide who deserves to shine. Don't let the indifference of others dim your light. Use Stoic wisdom as a guiding light, reminding you that everything is within your control, from your thoughts to your feelings to your actions. And no one except you can disturb your calm. Amidst the emotional tides we encounter in relationships, there are moments when we need to stop, reflect, and remind ourselves that we do not need the validation of others to determine our worth. Your self-esteem is an impenetrable fortress, and no matter who tries to break it down with indifference or contempt, it is their problem, not yours. When faced with people who do not respect you, remember that your peace and freedom lie in how you respond. You have the choice to live with unshakable serenity, even when others do not appreciate it. And it is this freedom, this choice of your response, that will help you overcome any challenge in human relationships. So, the next time someone does not care about your feelings or needs, remember, it is their problem, not yours. 3. Condescending or condescending comments. Those people who seem to be in your life only to remind you that you're not good enough, or that all your success is luck. Imagine this. You've just completed a passion project, achieved something you're proud of. You're excited to share your joy with everyone around you. But then, someone immediately throws cold water on you. They mock you, they belittle you, and worse, they try to make you feel small. But here's what Stoicism would tell you. It's okay. Why? Because what matters most is not what they say, how you respond. And remember, you have the power to choose not to let them influence you. You are the captain of your emotional ship. This may sound easy, but it takes daily practice to do it. Take a deep breath and analyze. When someone hurls condescending comments at you, first thing you need to do is stop and ask yourself, why am I letting their words affect me? They are just a bunch of meaningless noise, not the truth about who you are. You can choose to not let them have control over your emotions. When you understand that your emotions are not someone else's plaything, you will realize that every mean comment is nothing more than a passing breeze. Let's say you are a seasoned Stoic warrior, living in ancient Rome. You are walking down a crowded street, where the words and opinions of others seem to define everything. But unlike the average person, You understand that your worth is not defined by the words of others. You know that your true worth is something inside, something that cannot be denied or stolen. Now imagine someone trying to make you angry with condescending comments. They try to provoke you, but you stand firm, unshaken. That not only makes them fail, but also shows your inner strength. There is nothing more powerful than keeping your cool and not allowing anyone take away your inner peace. Many people may think that keeping your cool in the face of criticism is weak, but in fact, it is a manifestation of supreme strength. Because all of us can get angry and retaliate, but not everyone is strong enough to stay steadfast and calm in the face of attacks. An important point that the Stoic philosophy wants to remind you: you cannot control what others say, you can control how you react. This is very important. We have all been hurt by unkind comments from others. But if you always remember that all your emotions are controlled by yourself, those words will become meaningless. They can't hurt you unless you let them. Think about the last time someone made fun of you or made you feel small. How did you react? Did you get angry? Did you feel helpless? Don't worry, everyone does that. But from now on, focus on how you could have responded differently. Whenever you find yourself in that situation, remember, you are not a puppet for others to manipulate. You are the architect of your own mind. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind. No external event can harm you unless you allow it." This teaching is extremely important. It reminds us that no matter how noisy the world outside may be, peace can still be present in your soul if you truly control yourself. And then, at some point, you realize that the only person who can judge your worth is you. Other people can say what they want, but it can't change the truth about who you are. So the next time someone tries to put you down, nod, smile, and move on. Let those words fall away. You have more wonderful things to focus on, like your dreams, your goals, and your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. So what's the final message here? It's simple. Don't let other people dictate your emotions. Don't let them decide whether or not you're valuable. You know your worth. You are the captain of your own life. And if someone doesn't see it, that's their problem, not yours. Remember, in every situation, you have a choice. You can choose not to react, you can choose to be at peace, and you can choose to own your emotions. So next time you encounter mean comments, remember these things. You are stronger than you think, you are smarter than you think, and you have control over everything in your life, including how you respond to the world around you. The fourth thing I want to talk about here is called absence in important moments. Let's talk about absence, not the kind of absence where you walk out of the room and everyone is still waiting for you to come back. No, I'm talking about the kind of absence where you need someone the most, when you long for a hand, a companion through the storm of life, but when you look back, they're not there. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a storm. The pain, the pressure, all the worst things are happening at once. You feel the cold wind, the fear, and just when you think you can't take it anymore, you turn around, and there's no one. The person you thought would be there for you in your hardest times is gone. They're not there to face the challenge with you. Maybe they're too busy with their own lives, or maybe they just don't have the courage to stand by you in the middle of the storm. It hurts to be left behind, doesn't it? But wait, don't let that feeling consume you. This is where Stoicism comes in, like a light in the dark. You see, this philosophy teaches us that we can't control the actions of others. The only thing we can control is ourselves. The storm isn't the problem, and neither is the absence of someone. The question is, how will you react? Will you let the absence of someone define you, or will you choose to face everything with a steady and calm mind? This is an opportunity to discover your inner strength. You do not need others to survive. Their presence or absence does not define who you are. Your true strength does not come from those around you, but from within yourself. Stoicism teaches that your inner peace does not depend on the actions or reactions of others. Yes, people may leave, they may not be there when you need them, but your peace is always in your own hands. The storm may be strong, but you are stronger. That is the greatest lesson Stoicism can teach us. No one can take your strength away unless you allow it to happen. Now try a little exercise. When you find yourself in a situation where someone is not there when you need them most, take a few minutes to sit back. Take a deep breath. Don't be quick to blame or despair. Instead, focus on what you can control. Thoughts, your emotions, and how you respond. Imagine that you are a tree in the middle of a forest. The wind may howl, the rain may pour, but you stand firm, steadfast, and unshaken. That is your strength, something no one can take away. Someone's absence does not diminish your worth. Their shortcomings do not define who you are. And it is in these difficult moments, when you have to face the storm alone, that you will see your true strength more clearly. The important thing here is to remember that we are not to become islands of indifference to the world. Stoicism does not teach us to live in isolation, but to be in control of ourselves and not be governed by the presence or absence of others. Every time someone leaves or is not there when you need them, it is an opportunity for you to practice your resilience. It is an opportunity for you to build self-esteem that is not dependent on external validation. And you know what? It is in moments like these that you grow and become stronger. The challenges, the storms of life are not simply there to test you. They also help you discover the hidden strength within you. Now, imagine the next time you are faced with another difficult moment. When you turn around and see no one, you will not feel alone. You will not feel abandoned. Instead, you will find yourself stronger, more resilient, and freer. You will realize that no one can take away your inner peace unless you allow them to. Life is full of storms, and you may not always have someone to accompany you through all of them. But that is not a bad thing. It is an opportunity for you to find your independence, self-reliance, and true power. And when the storm passes, you will look back and see that you are stronger than before. You have matured and become more resilient. Always remember, their absence does not diminish your inner strength. That strength is built from your own thoughts, actions, and commitment to a virtuous and wise life. With this mindset, no challenge, no matter how difficult, can defeat you. If you have made it this far, I believe you are facing difficult times in your life or have a desire to learn more about Stoicism. If you find this video valuable, please give it a like, leave a comment so we can continue the discussion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more useful materials. And now let's tackle a subtle sign that many people miss, which is someone making you feel guilty for their misfortune. Have you ever been in a situation where it seems like everything is your fault? You didn't cause it, but they twist it to make you feel like the responsibility is on your shoulders. This is a classic manipulation tactic. They don't use gentle words to ask for help. Instead, they use guilt as a tool to put you in a difficult position, forcing you to do what they want. Imagine an ancient Stoic philosopher standing in a small village, where he sees a subtle manipulation by a friend who is trying to make him feel guilty for something that is not his responsibility. But instead of giving in to his emotions, philosopher remembers a fundamental principle. No one can control his emotions except himself. And the same is true for you. When someone tries to make you feel guilty, stop. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what do they want from me? Is this action reasonable, or is it just an emotional manipulation? If the answer is no, don't let them sway you. Stoicism teaches that we have the right to say no when it doesn't align with our values and ethic. Practice this mindset whenever you feel taken advantage of. When someone uses guilt to back you into a corner, imagine yourself wearing an invisible layer of armor, a mental wall of protection. Inside, you hold your values firmly, impenetrable. By doing so, you not only maintain your peace, but also strengthen your personal boundaries, not allowing anyone to take advantage of your kindness. The sixth thing is, the problem appears when they only come to you when they need something. Have you ever met someone who you only see when they need something? You know this type of person, right? When things are going well for them, you never hear a word about them. But when they are in trouble, they appear immediately, with sweet words and a friendly attitude. Another sign of exploitation is when they only come to you when they need you, and when you need them, they disappear. This is what you need to learn from Stoicism. Set boundaries. Not everyone who asks for your help has bad intentions. But when you notice someone only comes to you when they need something, it's step back and ask yourself, is this relationship balanced? Am I being treated fairly? It's not selfish to set boundaries. On the contrary, it's wise. You have the right to protect your energy from people who are just taking without giving anything in return. Think carefully before continuing this relationship, and if you see that they are not contributing positively to your life, firmly say no. Finally, it's lack of empathy. Finally, one of the most obvious signs that someone is using you is a lack of empathy. Someone who truly cares about you will make an effort to understand your feelings and sympathize with the struggles you're going through. But if someone consistently ignores your feelings and needs, it means they're just using you as a tool to get their way. Imagine sharing something important, only to get a cold shoulder, or worse, a blank stare. They never ask if you're okay, never try to learn more about what you're going through. It's a clear sign of a lack of empathy. According to Stoicism, you should use these moments to reevaluate your relationships. You feel like someone is consistently ignoring your feelings, it's time to reevaluate their role in your life. You deserve to be around people who truly care about you, who are willing to listen and support you without expecting anything from you.